for tuning in to the Zip Mouth Motivation Show.
Hey, zip mouth, let's get it, let's talk to each other. Elevate, divine state, let's boost each other. Conversate, no my debate, we learning something to stimulate a greater state. Now ain't that something? Got it covered like gravy, a smothered chicken. The intellectual driven by streams and pathways to uplift. What seeing life different becomes the way of life. Finding your inner peace and shining like beacons through the motivation. Get you moving to go and discover new things. Zip mouth, the doors wide open, let's elevate the game. Stimulate the brain with ways to build bridges and live some better days. Motivation, that's all I'm saying with Zip Mouth.
Thank you for tuning in to the Zip Mouth Motivation Show.
Welcome, beautiful people. Y'all see I had a issue. Y'all know I'm a real person, so I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. Welcome to the Zip Mouth Motivation. So first off, tune in every Tuesday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on 101.5 Indie Radio, where you're gonna see your girl. Well, you won't see me, but you'll listen to me. Either way, 101.5 Indie Radio, where we are stacking and powerful. So y'all know this is the Zip Mouth Motivation Show, where I do not sugarcoat. Where I keep it real, because I want to see greatness in people. And I know people are great. Whether they want to be great or not, they great. They great because I said they great, So I decided tonight to do the show live. I don't know why I did, but I did. I was like, I'm going to just do the show live, and go ahead and do my thing or whatever. Y'all, why somebody called me? Why did somebody call me like they don't know I'm doing my show? No, just playing. They probably didn't know I was doing my show, but either way, they called me. I had to get off the live real quick. I had to delete it. See, this is what happens when you go live. This is why sometimes I don't go live, because I know that people be doing weird stuff. Anyway, y'all know I'm a real person, so this ain't no fake show. This is the real Zip Mouth Motivation Show, and we just keep it real here. And like I said, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Demasha K, the always smiling, laughing person, whatever. So y'all know how it goes. But we're gonna get into it tonight. The title of the show is You're Undisciplined. So this is the mental shift that you require for the next level. And I know lately I've been talking about next level, but I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna tell you about me. Interesting. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna tell you about me. I am one of those people that is I'm about the next level. I'm about the next level. I don't know what nobody else about, but I am about the next level. And I promise y'all, this is a live show. This is gonna be on the radio. So if I don't respond right away to your comments, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going with the flow of the show. Again, I'm your host, Demasha K. This is the Zip Mouth Motivation Show. Y'all tune in every Tuesday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on 101.5 Indie Radio. And we're going to get into it. We are definitely going to get into it. If you clicked on this episode, I need you to understand something immediately. This is not a feel-good conversation. I'm not a feel-good podcast host or radio host. That's just not my thing. I believe in truth. I believe in telling people what it really is. And for people to go to the next level, sometimes you need to have that truth. Because when somebody tell me the truth, that thing be hitting me in my stomach sometimes. But at the same time, it's let's go to the next level. This is not your, I got this conversation. I am a motivator. That's what I do. I like to motivate the people. But at the same time, sometimes motivation comes from truth and you hearing the truth. And this is basically a wake-up call, y'all. Because, the last couple of, the last 2 years, I've been focusing a little bit on business, right? And I've helped tons of people build their business from the ground up. And if you know me in person, or if you see me in person, I'm really an introvert, very quiet. But when I get on the internet, I can talk, But I help people build their businesses from the ground up. And I've been noticing so many things. And it's been so frustrating. It's been so frustrating watching people who could really have successful business and they tear it down with this undisciplined attitude or undisciplined behaviors. So we're going to talk about it tonight because too many powerful people are stuck not in their incapableness, because it's not that people aren't capable. They're stuck because they've never been taught mental discipline. Mental discipline is something else, though, like mental discipline is a completely different thing. And it's something that you have to learn. It's just like emotional intelligence. If you don't learn emotional intelligence at a young age, when you get older, it's going to be hard for you to have that emotional intelligence. And today we're going to talk about what's really happening, why so many people feel drained, confused, overwhelmed, and behind. I don't know why y'all feeling behind of what you must be starting or shifting into. First, let me say you are not lazy. You're not lazy, business owner, mindset people. You are not lazy. You are not cursed. Because if one more person tell me their business cursed, I'm going to scream. I'm literally going to scream. You are not cursed. You are not broken. You are living in a system that profits from distraction. It profits from distraction, emotional reactivity, and confusion. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's the absolute truth. Once you see something, you cannot unsee it. Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. People are tired, not physically, but mentally. A lot of people are mentally tired. It ain't even about like what's going on in their body. Most of the time, it's like what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their spirit, what's happening like in these spaces where it's like, I'm exhausted. I can't think about the physical because I'm too busy thinking about the mental. I heard someone say today, they was like, I get sick of paying bills. Who came up with bills? They were saying something like that. I was like, I don't know who came up with bills. I'm still trying to figure out how we own a planet paying for water. Like I'm still trying to figure that out. Like we're here on this planet and we're paying for water. I'm not understanding it. So I get it. People are physically or mentally, they're tired. Everyone feels like they're doing a lot, but nothing is changing. And I'm like, that's the worst feeling in the world, to feel like you're just doing so many different things, but nothing is changing. It's like you're just going in this never ending cycle. And it's like, when does the cycle stop? When do people feel like I achieved something, right? When do I feel like I achieved something is probably what you're saying to yourself. But that's not accidental. It's not accidental. We have more access to information than any generation before us. And I know y'all, if you like me, I'm a little old, y'all. So as you get older, you realize there is a lot of information out there. But we have access to more information than any other generation that came before us. And yet, we are the most confused. We are literally the most confused. And why is that? Why is it that we have access to all this information, but we are constantly going in cycle after cycle after cycle, not feeling like we achieve goals, not feeling like we can mentally make it to the next day? What's happening? Like, what is happening? Because most of the information without structure creates a paralyzed motion, a paralyzed movement. Too many opinions, so you don't know which way to go. You ever go somewhere and you ask a question, and then it's like everybody in that space answers your question, but they all give you a different answer, and you just walk out like, that didn't even help me. Like that conversation didn't help me. You leave the conversation feeling more confused than what you did when you got into the conversation. Too many opinions, too many like trends. Everything is a trend now. Like if you do one thing on the internet, they're gonna turn it into a trend. Every time I see a trend, I'm always wondering, like, so everybody okay with being a robot? Every time I see a trend, I'm just like, everybody, like everybody's okay with being robotic. That just makes sense to people. Not to stand out or to be different or to do something completely different. I think right now my big thing is spiritualism. When did everybody become spiritual? Like, I was like, what happened? Where was y'all when? Okay, never mind. But either way, trends, too many do this, do that, and not enough like searching within yourself. A lot of times when I ask people, like, who are you? They don't know who they are. They don't know who they are without people telling them who they are. They don't know who they are without the different titles of who they are. So, how can you achieve a goal or how can you become better if you don't even know who you are? You don't know what you want. You following every trend that come up, and some of those things may not even work for you. So, how do you know? A distracted mind is an obedient mind. I'm gonna say it again. A distracted mind is an obedient mind. So when you're distracted, you're only obedient to the things that are distracting you. Maybe that don't make sense to people, but I want y'all to marinate on it. Come back and tell me on under the comments, like, hey, you know what? Now I know what you mean. Busy does not mean progress. And a lot of times we think that does. Just because I'm busy doing this, I'm busy doing that. Everybody got like, I just noticed, like, I don't know when this changed, but I just noticed that a lot of people have two phones. And I'm thinking, like, all right, now hold on. Because maybe I'm not in on something. I own two businesses. I only have one phone, y'all. Excuse me. I only have one phone. I have two numbers to the one phone. But I'm not walking around with two phones. It's aggravating because one of I no, that's aggravating. I don't know how y'all do it. More power to y'all, but it's aggravating to me. So you have everybody like everybody's reactive. Most people are busy reacting to bills because we all reacting to those. Most people reacting to people because every time somebody says something to you about you, around you, in the middle of, on the side of, you feel like you got to react. I don't know why, but you feel like you got to react. They're reacting to trauma because that's the big thing now. People are finding out like this was trauma. This really did something to my spirit, to my mind, to my soul. Like this is why I act the way that I act. So people are reacting to the trauma, whether it's negative or it's positive, reacting to social media. I just did a video a couple of weeks ago and it was everybody's watching but nobody's working. Everybody say they tired of their situation, but everybody just scrolling all day long. You ever sit in your car or just sit, maybe lay in the bed? You might lay in the bed at like 9 o'clock. You're like, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock, and you lay there and scroll. Before you know it, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And you just spent that whole time scrolling. The whole entire time you just scrolling, wasting precious time that you could be inputting into yourself, doing something for yourself. If you didn't go to bed at 9 o'clock and you a business owner, maybe you need to get up and you need to rewrite your programs. Maybe you need to look at your mission and change the mission. Maybe there's something that you need to do more of. And if you just a person, and not just a person, but if you're a person who goes to work and you don't own a business, maybe this is the time to start that workout. Because distractions will have you doing things like that make no sense. If your life feels chaotic, ask yourself, how much of my day is intentional? How much of my day is intentional? Now, it could be negatively intentional because some people are intentional to being negative. But how much of your day is positively intentional? Like, this is something that I'm doing, have a why behind it. Because the why is your intention. That's why you're doing what you're doing. Why am I doing this? Why am I getting up every day and going to work? And people will say, well, I'm going to work to pay bills. And you're going to work to pay bills to do what? To just sit around? Or is there something else more to life for you? And you have to ask yourself these big questions, because this is how you get to the next level. This is how you look at your life and say, am I wasting time with this? Is there more to me? Is there more to what I can do? Is there more to who I am? How much of your day is intentional? And then once you ask yourself that question, ask yourself how much of your day is reactive, meaning like you don't even think, you're just going through it like robotically. Your normal thing to do when somebody says something to you or cuts you off in traffic is to honk the horn and throw the soda. So you just automatically get up in the morning, and this is intentional. You get up in the morning, you're going to get a coffee, and you grab a soda because you know somebody gonna cut you off. Reactive. You just going through the motions. You cannot build a future while constantly putting out fires. There's no way to do that. If you stuck in survival mode and you're trying to build a future and you feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and nothing is happening and nothing is breaking, and I'm just going through the motions, and I'm tired of doing this, and I'm frustrated with this, and I'm sick of this, it's chaotic. It's time to regroup. It's time to go back to the drawing board. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. And I got my notes to y'all, so I don't know what y'all be like. What's she doing? Every reaction costs you energy. Every reaction, whether it's a negative reaction or a positive reaction, it costs energy. Arguing online costs energy. I don't know why y'all do it. I don't know. Maybe I can't stay focused enough to argue with somebody online. Arguing online costs energy. Explaining yourself costs energy. Defending your choices costs energy. Stop. When you really think about it, if you're an adult, because sometimes kids be watching, but if you're an adult, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You do that out of the courtesy, out of the kindness, out of the love and the respect that you have for people. But you're allowed to make decisions and just make them. This felt good for something I needed to do. This felt positive for my life. And just do it. Sometimes when you do that without getting all those opinions and listening to everybody and worrying about how everybody gonna feel, it actually works out better. Because you already know what you want to do. You already know the direction. The only thing that's stopping you is because you're always worried about what somebody else is going to think about you. You're always focused on how somebody's going to feel about this, and I have to explain this, and now I got to argue with this person. Let them argue with themselves. Let them argue with themselves. Energy is currency. I'm going to say it again. Energy is currency. If you are emotionally accessible to everyone, you will financially accessible to no opportunities. I'm going to say it again. If you are emotionally accessible to everyone, you will be financially accessible to no opportunities, because you are so busy living a reactive life that you're not being intentional about your direction in life. And so that goes to say, if you are a quiet person like me, be that way. It's okay, because that means you're focused. If you withdraw sometime, it's okay. Because now you are saying like, I'm not emotionally accessible to everyone because I need to get my financial situation together. I need to get this like I need to grab a hold of this. And sometimes that means isolation. Sometimes that means I'm not reacting to nothing. You know what? If you feel that way, fine. I'm not explaining. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not doing that. People don't fear failure. They fear discomfort. A lot of people will make an excuse and they'll say like, I'm scared I'm going to fail, but I know I got it. In the same breath, they'll tell me that. I'm scared I'm going to fail. I know I got that. That's what makes me say people don't fear failure. They fear discomfort. They don't want to be in a space that they don't know. That's not fear, that's discomfort. Growth requires discomfort. Discipline requires discomfort. Change requires discomfort. If you think that I spent the majority of my life being comfortable, absolutely not. At this current moment, I am uncomfortable. And that is the honest truth. At the current moment, I am uncomfortable. I started my podcast way back in 2016. I started as a podcast host. Started 2016 in my car, sleeping on someone's floor. I was uncomfortable. But at the same time, I couldn't continue to react to a situation that there was nothing that I could do about it at that moment. The only thing I knew is that I had to get out of the situation. So how do I get out of this situation? As I talk about a lot, is being solution minded. We always focus on the problem for too long. Yes, there's a problem. We know there's a problem, but how do we fix the problem? And sometimes fixing that problem means I got to be uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. My boys and I were sleeping in a little room. They were sleeping in the bed. I was sleeping on the floor. And every night, if you listen to my podcasts way back in 2016, every night I would get in my car with a cup of brown liquor. I like brown liquor. So brown liquor. And I would do my podcast on my phone every night. I did that for a whole year. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Most people would rather stay uncomfortable in what's familiar. And what I mean is most people would like to stay in a space where they know everybody, where they know where everything is, but they feel uncomfortable. That's not uncomfort. You're still in a comfortable space. How about moving outside of that space into something that doesn't feel like, oh, this isn't like what I'm used to. This isn't the space that I'm ready to, that thing that makes you like get into that kid zone. That space where it's kind of like you walk into a place and you looking shy and you're not even a shy person. But because you don't know anyone there, it makes you shy. It makes you feel uncomfortable. Instead of staying in a familiar space that's familiar and makes you uncomfortable, go to an uncomfortable space that's new. Something you never did before. A space you've never been in before. Sometimes people ask me like, how do you go out to dinner by yourself? How do you get in your car and you take long trips by yourself? I'm not scared. I don't care about being uncomfortable. And people will, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry if I don't respond to all the messages, but I appreciate y'all. Sometimes it's just like I go to these like places out of town and I meet some of the most amazing people. Like I love knowledge. So they have so much knowledge. I would have never met those people in my space because people are different in different places. Comfort delays your destiny. It delays your destiny. If you are comfortable right now, comfortable doing what you're doing, being who you are, ask yourself, like, do I want more? And that little uncomfortable thing, that thing that you don't want to be uncomfortable, it's going to tell you, oh, you good. I'm good. I'm comfortable with my life. But next week, you're going to hear my voice saying, are you sure? Are you sure you're comfortable? Because everyone, something inside them wants more. A lot of people just don't know how to get more because they don't put themselves in uncomfortable spaces to learn how to get more. It's the honesty. Now, I told y'all before we came on here, this is the Honest Podcast. And this truth isn't just for people out there, it's for me too. When I'm doing my notes, I'm uncomfortable. And I'm the first one that's uncomfortable. Because I'm doing these notes and I'm thinking about things and things is happening. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. And I got to clean it up. So for the last 16 years or 10, 20 years, whatever, the last couple of years, I've been beating myself up with my own podcast. Because before I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me. So deliverance is not loud. Deliverance is clarity. Moving out of one mental space into another one is clarity. But it's hard to find that clarity, especially when you don't want to be uncomfortable. People think that discipline is restrictions. And I think I did a podcast a couple of years ago strictly about discipline. But people think discipline is restrictions, but it's not. Discipline is self-respect. And if you my age, like sometimes we looking at things now, we like, nobody don't have no self-respect. But discipline is. Discipline is self-respect. When you discipline your time, your thoughts, your habits, life becomes lighter. And I know, when you start trying to discipline, people are always trying to come for you. They're always like, oh, you think you're better than us. Oh, you changing. Let me tell you something. Everybody who say things like that to you, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because it becomes obvious that they don't want to see you at the next level. Now, you might have some people that say it to you in the beginning, but they watching you. They watching everything that you do because you're motivating them. You're motivating them to get up and do something. They might pick at you. They might say this because they don't understand. And it's making them uncomfortable because why are you changing like this? The other day we was doing this. Now you telling me you don't do that no more? And I think I told a story about like when I decided I wanted to change my life. And this was probably like, I don't know, 11, 12 years ago. And I said I was going to change my life. I was like telling everybody, we in a bar and I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm about to change my life. And they're like, they're like, you're not changing your life. We already know you. You've been this way for a long time. And I kept telling them like, listen, y'all, I'm about to change my life. I think my kids are one of them is almost an adult. He's 18. I don't think that's an adult, but he's 18. So I think he was probably like 5 or something. So this was years and years ago. And I remember everybody in the bar was laughing at me, y'all. They was laughing at me. They was like, you're not changing your life. You're going to still be doing the same things. And I kept telling myself every morning, I said, I am changing my life. Like, I don't want to live like this no more. I get it. A lot of us come from, quote unquote, the hood. We come from this and we come from that and all this kind of stuff. But I'm thinking like, man, I went to get a bachelor's degree because this is when I just had my bachelor's degree. I went to get a bachelor's degree just to stay the same. That sounds crazy. Have y'all seen my student loans? I have. No. So I had to make a decision. I had to change the way I think. And it doesn't happen overnight. Discipline does not happen overnight. Don't let nobody fool you that tomorrow you're going to wake up, you're going to make a decision, and you're going to decide to be disciplined, and you're going to be disciplined. That's a lie. It's a lie. And if you fall, it's okay. You dust yourself off. You think about how you can approach that thing differently and step back into your discipline. Because I can't tell y'all how many times I fail because I can't count anymore. I still be falling. I can't count anymore. Nobody is perfect. But when you set out to do something, when you set out to be something, when you set out to create something, when you set out and you say, like, I want to do better. I want to do better for myself. I want to do better for my business. I want to do better for my children. I want to do better for it. But you have to do better for yourself first. If you don't want to do better for yourself first, none of that stuff is going to stick. The truth is, motivation is emotional. And y'all know, Zip Mouth Motivation, my name says it all. I'm gonna get somebody out of bed. I'm gonna get them to the next thing that they want to do. I'm gonna motivate them and I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna do all of that. All of that. My clients motivated, they don't need motivation. But some of them come needing discipline. Discipline. Discipline is structural. 100% structural. If you only move when you feel like it, you will always stop when emotions shift. I'm going to say it again. If you only move when you feel like it, because sometimes it's not about what you feel, it's about what you need to do. If you only move when you feel like it, you will always stop when the emotion shifts. And that emotion could be anything. Like I tell people, don't get so hyped when people talking about you. Let them talk. Because if you start getting hyped and you know that's not true, you know what they're saying is not true, or you know it doesn't even matter, more or less to say, they control you. And everybody's talking about, I'm the boss of me. I tell me what to do. No, they just told you what to do. Because they made you react to their nonsense. Stay focused on what it is that you have to focus on as a person, as a business owner. Every time someone says something negative about your business, it doesn't mean you have to react. Look at it, reflect, give them a, hey, you know, I'm sorry you felt that way. We're working on things, and keep it moving. And if it's something that you feel you need to work on it. Not everything deserves a response. Not everyone deserves access. Not every thought deserves attention. That's the gist of it. Peace increases when you stop responding to things that don't build you. The moment you stop responding to things that don't build you up, that don't make you better, that's when you start getting peace. That's when peace starts flowing in. That's when you become a different person. That's when your abilities grow. That's when your mindset grows. That's when you start feeling strengthened, when you stop responding to everything. We know bills coming. So every month you don't have to flip out and get sad because you're going to spend your money on bills. The solution is finding more money or finding ways to make more money, positive ways, building your business ways so that you don't have to do that. I said I was going to do a story time. I don't know if you listened to my last video. I said I was going to do a story time about what recently happened to me. And I'm still going to do a story time. But just know, find a solution. If I would have stayed in reactive mode, because reactive mode, I wanted to do some other stuff. But when I thought about it, how can I never have to experience this again? When you think about recently, they took the food stamps or they did something to that nature, And a lot of people who were getting food stamps, they was upset, they was frustrated, and they was like, "Oh, how Imma do this, how Imma do that." At that moment at that moment, when I have to wonder how, that's when I know I need to shift. In the moment that you feel reactive instead of intentional, that's when you know you have to shift. There has to be a shift. Something has to change, something has to get better, something has to move. Y'all know I can't give it to y'all without giving y'all some action steps. So I'm gonna give you seven a 7-day like a mental fast. For the next 7 days, right? Next 7 days, no arguing with anybody, not even your children. Not even your children. No arguing, no explaining. And when I say no explaining, if you make a decision, stick with it. Stick with it. You don't have to converse with anybody. You don't have to say, "Oh, well, no explaining. No explaining. No reacting emotional." So if you know somebody is about to pull in the next 7 days, you know that there is someone around you that can pull out the most emotional things. Get away from them for 7 days. 7 days. No emotional reacting. No doom scrolling. No doom scrolling. None. No doom scrolling. If you gonna sit there and scroll 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 and waste all your time scrolling, I want you to hear my voice. When I said, quiet the noise and elevate your mind. Quiet the noise and elevate your mind. So when you're doom scrolling, I want you to hear my voice say that. Quiet the noise and elevate your mind. Use that time to think of a plan, to observe your own patterns. We don't do enough. We do so much observing of other people that we don't observe ourselves. We don't observe like the spaces that we're heading into, where we're going, the motions, the movements, what's happening in my life. Who are the people around me? How can I do better? What's my next move? And I want you to ask yourself, action number 2, ask yourself, what is the one structure that will stabilize my life right now? What is the one structure that would stabilize my life right now? Not 10 things, one. Because what we like to do is we like to make 1,000 goals, right? We like to make 1,000 goals. And like I tell people, goals are nice. I like goals. I love goals. But everybody does this. They get a piece of paper. I'm about to write down my goals. They write like 20 things down. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. New Year's resolutions. New Year's coming up, y'all. New Year, they write them down. This is happening. This is happening. No structure. Just things that they want to do on the paper. It's like a grocery list. Whenever you go into the store and you got a grocery list, you actually never follow it. Most people don't. Some people do, but most people don't. They be grabbing stuff, eating apples, all kind of stuff. I didn't come. No, I'm not telling you to write down a bunch of things. I just want you to write down one thing that will help you stabilize your life right now. Right now, like a daily routine, a weekly income plan, a content schedule, a financial reset. Like, what is it that will stabilize what creates stable momentum in your life right now? Right now, at this moment. Action number 3, What you consume becomes how you think. And we've heard this 1,000 times. I'm not the first person to say this. What you consume becomes how you think. So people say to me all the time, like, why don't you watch TV? And I tell them I do. From time to time, I will watch a movie or something. But I'm not going to focus on watching a movie. I'm going to spend all this time watching a movie. And I just told you I have 2 businesses to build. So I'm watching what I consume, what comes into me, all of that scrolling, all of that negative. I don't know if any of you are like me, but if you are, drop it in the comments. I'm one of those people, like, people can be saying something on social media and I feel that energy. I can feel, like, sometimes I'll be scrolling and somebody will say something. I'll be like, oh, I can feel the negative energy. I don't want that. What you consume becomes how you think. For the next week, one book. And I'm laughing because I remember telling somebody this. One book chapter. Just one book for the next week. You got 7 days. I think you can read a chapter. One educational video. Y'all talk about YouTube University so much. I done start calling it YouTube University. Watch an educational video on here. If you're a person who journal, one a day for the next 7 days. That's it. One a day. I'm not asking for a lot. One a day. Do something like read a magazine about a place that you've never been before. Oh, do they still have magazines? Or I think they got magazines online, y'all. Read about a place you've never been before. Action number 4, ask better questions. Stop asking, like, why does this keep happening to me? I don't know. Every time somebody say, why does, I tell them I don't know. Start asking, what skill is this teaching me? What is this teaching me? What is the situation teaching me? And it takes a minute to, like, take a deep breath. Yeah, I'm going through something. But what is this teaching me? What must I master next so that I don't put myself or be in this situation again? Better questions create better habits. And sometimes, like I said, that means being intentional. Intentional, not reactive, but being intentional about who you are and what you're doing and the next step. And this goes for business and this goes for mindset. Money doesn't go to the most talented. It doesn't go to the most talented. It goes to the most disciplined. So don't get it twisted, though. Don't get it twisted. Because people who flaunt money all over the place, they don't have money for real. The people who have money are the ones that you see who act like they don't have money. Those are the ones who have money. Money is quiet because people who have money, they work so hard for it. They were so disciplined getting it. They don't want nobody to know. Because they scared somebody gonna take it from them and they're gonna have to do all that hard work again. The people winning right now are not louder. They are clear. They are not emotional. They are strategic. They are not explaining. They are executing. So if you want to win, emotion versus strategic, explain versus execution. You don't raise to the level of your dream. You don't rise to the level of your dream. You rise to the level of your discipline. Discipline. You rise to the level of your discipline. So it is time, business owners, people who want to do better in life, it's time to rise to the level. It's time to go to the next step. If this episode hit you, it's because you are ready for more. Not for more information, not for more structure, more discipline, more clarity. People really want to know how to get to the next level. And I know that the majority of you all are tired of people playing with your emotions and with your mind and saying, listen, I'm going to tell you how to get to the next level. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. Because, see, they got to do the stuff for you. I create independence. I believe that people can do anything that they want to do. And I know that sounds cliche. I believe that. And I believe it with my whole heart. But sometimes people just need a little push to start doing what it is that they want to do and to believe that they can achieve the next goal. When I got out of high school, I grew up like my parents are like military brat on my dad's side, and then my mom's side, not so much. But military brat. And I grew up where my parents taught me you have to have a plan A, B, C, and D. And I'm thinking like, why I gotta have all these plans? All right, my mom's like, what's your plan? I'm graduating high school. That was my only plan because I was tired of school. Anything after that, I don't know what they talking about. She was like, no, what you gonna do when you get out of school? I'm gonna work a job. I already had 2 jobs. I'm working both of my jobs. No, what are you going to do? She said, okay, you don't know what you're gonna do? I tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna get out of school, you're gonna go get your CNA. I was like, CNA? CNA, man, oh my goodness. But I did it. I did it. After I got my CNA, I was tired of doing that. I was like, man, I ain't on this right here. Y'all talking about cleaning up people. This ain't what I got a weak stomach. But I did it for years. After that, I said, you know what? I like kids. I'm going to be a daycare teacher. I was a daycare teacher for a couple of years. Boom. That was nice. This my plan A, B, and C. Then after that, I was like, you know what? I think I want to drive a bus. 5'3". I went and got my CDLs from Pinellas County. Drove school bus for a couple of years. After that, I was like, boom, I'm going to get my bachelor's degree. So when you start achieving goals and you start meeting accomplishments, you want to do it more and more and more. And before you know it, you become a serial person like me who got all the stuff that they did before, but you become that. And that's okay because you know what? When one thing isn't working, you can always fall back to the next thing. So if this me having 2 businesses doesn't work, guess what? I can go back and drive a school bus. I can go back and be a CNA. I can go back and be a daycare teacher. I got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. Discipline. And that's what people want to see. They want to know how to, and I'm not saying that school is for everyone because I got 4 trades before I decided that I was going to go back to college. 4 of them. Because I was like, I'm done with school. I'm tired of school. I ain't got time for this. Who finna sit in a classroom and have somebody teach you something? Just give me what I need. And that's how I am. Straight and to the point. So I get it. People don't need more information. They need structure, discipline, and clarity. Your next level is waiting on you. It's waiting on you to give it to the permission to make the decision for you to go to the next level. And I know you want to go. I know you want to go. So if you're ready to go, let's go. Make sure you tap in. Like I said, 101.5 Indie Radio every Tuesday. You will hear Zip Mouth Motivation. If you're looking for old shows, you could definitely find me on Apple, iHeart, every platform. And if you follow me on the platforms, you can follow me because I always follow back. Zip Mouth Motivation on all platforms. Coach Demasha Katrina on Instagram. Coach Demasha Katrina. Y'all see my name right there on Instagram. And Demasha Katrina. All my pages are public. I ain't got nothing to hide my whole life on the internet. So, well, most of my life, except for my private life, but on the internet. But either way, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to my motivation show. Catch me on 101.5, especially in January, in February. I will be live at 6 o'clock where you can call in and you can ask all the questions that you want to ask. and you can talk to me and I can talk back to you in February. I'll be starting that because I got to get other stuff together. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all tap in. Make sure you follow those 7 action steps. Follow them to the T. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good night, a good day, wherever you are. Definitely, if you left a comment, I appreciate you. And I'm going to go back and comment to all the comments. Good night, y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to the Zip Mouth Motivation Show.
Hey, Zip Mouth, let's get it. Let's talk to each other. Elevate, divine state. Let's boost each other. Conversate, no matter debate. We learning something to stimulate a greater state. Now ain't that something? Got it covered like gravy. A smothered chicken. The intellectual driven by streams and pathways to uplift. What seeing life different becomes the way of life. Finding your inner peace and shining like beacon through the motivation. Get you moving to go and discover new things. Zip Mouth, the doors wide open. Let's elevate the game. Stimulate the brain with ways to build bridges and live some better days. Motivation is all I'm saying with Zip Mouth.
Thank you for tuning in to the Zip Mouth Motivation Show.